right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on me. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No hands out for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught some shots. Another piece of the puzzle connecting dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. Then she gon' walk there like a model for me. Like I don't see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends with advice to land. Not special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't take my words, just back and issue that raw dough. Just back and issue that raw dough. Back and issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my people, they know that I do care. With their hands in the air, rocking side to side. Now my work, yeah, it's time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the back, label to change up the swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the shit get. Wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock it, they for fade. Swagger tell me, polo collars and fly kicks. Just polo collars and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get wet. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shots.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, let the blind lead the blind, they all follow the trick.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. They act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, but I'm nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reverence. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, packing the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange food, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, we treat you like Othello. L.A.R. we the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just superior. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy B. And the mean as bad as Mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me as strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crook and just a homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here and pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe 2 up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a copy, last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone. And now she on welfare. Lost said that they can't live there, so we ain't there. And life ain't fair, but the food free and the rent cheap. It's roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, girl, why your ass out? They looking back saying, why, y'all ain't ever in the house? You got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking we're Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. America bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
What's happening, y'all? L.A.R movement still moving. Shout out to my dog Mo. We're talking a little bit about the the political spectrum going on right now, and I just got a few things to talk about. So, when it comes to Black America and politics in 2024, the minute that Joe Biden bowed out of the race, it became an issue, not necessarily an issue, but it will be an issue at a certain point. Black people need to vote for Kamala. And, then you have the question, why? Does she have a good history with Black folks? Not really. But, we could get a Black man in office, we can get a Black woman in office. And it's like, well, first and foremost, it's no diss to her per se, but we got a Black man in office who wasn't, quote unquote, a foundational Black American. And then you're going to get a Black woman in office who's black half the time and Asian half the time, whenever it's convenient, right? Gonna help get her in office, and she's not really, a Black American like that. So it's like, no, but it's not we have justifiable reasons, or should you vote for Trump? And it's like, should we? I mean, out of spite, everybody keeps trying to talk about, these great policies that helped all these people. No, they didn't. The common American has been getting played probably for the last close to 2 decades. Ever since this country went to war in Iraq, it's been going downhill. Okay, so this idea that and it was gradual, and then it just kind of fell off a cliff. So, in my opinion, like, probably the best candidate right now would be RFK. But my dog says, the mainstream media looks at RFK as too radical, and I was like, wow. Between Trump and Kamala, RFK could be looked at as a radical one, and that's very interesting. And I'm not saying RFK will do anything for Black people. I don't believe that whatsoever. But I still think he'd be the best candidate out of the three. I'd be surprised if he does something specifically for Black people, right? So we have that issue. And then we have the elephant in the room of loyalty to just the Democratic Party. And I think that's just going to come to an end. Like, nah. Loyal to what? Loyal to a fault. Loyal to, we're going to do, we can't do something for you right now, but if you help everybody else, we gonna look out for you one of these days, one day, someday, but not today. But I promise you, one day, if you just keep doing it, we got your back. It's like, nah, we're not doing that. So, and the same thing, in my opinion, it goes to the Republican Party. Like, those people over there, they're playing you. They'll never do anything for you. But if you come over here, you know, if you just come over here, it'll be different. I mean, you should just give us a shot. I mean, why not? What do you got to lose? We're here. It's like, but what are you gonna do? The same thing, right? Because whether, contrary to popular belief, it's just two different factions of white people that don't like black people. That's all it is. So to think that one group is going to do more than the other group is just, it's not realistic, right? So that's a whole issue in itself. But that being said, people need that 10 to 15 points to get over the hump. So it's like, hey man, you're on your own. You figure it out. Like we can tip the scales in any direction. So that's part of the political thing going on. Now, let me, do a little history, because people talk about policies, right? And even when people talk about, reparations, what are you gonna do for the black community? There's this idea that, hey man, we can't do anything for just the black community. We got to do something for all these other communities. We got to do something for Americans. And that's just stuff that they say to us. That's what that is. Because this is the same government that specifically has targeted us for negative things. And this is the government that specifically does stuff for particular groups. So, but when it comes to the black American community, that's when the we can't do anything for just one group of people speech comes on. Because if that was the case, a few years back when you made the Asian hate crime bill, that should have been a minority bill then, right? It should have been a minority hate crime bill, but was it? No, it's an Asian hate crime bill, right? Okay. You got a government who specifically is targeting, let's just say illegal immigrants. If you're going to come to this country, we're going to give you something. Just come here. You ain't got to be a citizen. You ain't even got to come here the right way. We're going to do something for you. That's a problem. So now we're going to play that game. We're going to play the game of, oh yeah, we'll do something for them, but not you. Like people talked about, and it's not that much. It's not as big as people think, but giving money to Holocaust survivors or victims of their family. That's a specific thing this country's done. It wasn't we can't do stuff, for that community. No, that's not true. This country specifically sends money to certain foreign entities abroad. That's for specific groups of people, right? In multiple different countries. So all of a sudden, they don't say anything about that. And within the country, you got, groups targeted for financial benefits. You're still paying Native Americans. That's a particular group. You've already paid the Japanese, for those internment camps. That's a particular group. I'm not 100% sure. I need to look it up though. I know that they paid the slave owners reparations, and I know that they paid the families of some of the Confederate soldiers were getting reparations. But I think until like the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Those are particular groups of people. I'm gonna look it up now. Did Italians, get reparations? Yeah, I hate when I mess up. Let me see. Because they got lynched in Louisiana. I remember that. Yes, Italians received reparations, including descendants of the men who were killed by the Nazis in 1943, and President Harrison paid $25,000 in 1892 in reparations to the Italian government after a mass lynching of Italian immigrants. So ironically, Italians, got reparations from what happened in this country, or their government. I'll say that, which hopefully they doled back to other Italians, but who knows? So that's that's a specific group, right? And when it came to redlining and blockbusting and just let's just go with Jim Crow, and COINTELPRO. It's the war on drugs. That was specifically tailored by the government at the black community's detriment. So all of a sudden you could do something to harm particular groups, exclusively. You had the Asian Exclusion Act, right? But you can all of a sudden on the flip side say we got to pay Asians reparations. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't, all of these policies, they're full of it. They're hypocritical. Let's just say it that way. They're very hypocritical. So when we play this game where you can't do something for a particular race of people, yes, you can. Yes, you can. By that logic, ironically, if you dismantle affirmative action, but the biggest beneficiary of affirmative action was white women, are you not hiring white women anymore in corporate America? That's not true. You are, right? So you basically took a policy that was for, let's just say, it was supposed to be for black men and then for black people, and it became a minority thing for everybody except white men. And lo and behold, white women are the biggest beneficiary of it. Because white men were doing the hiring. So when you have all of these policies and the way these policies are set up and written up, specific groups of people benefit from them. Specific groups. Even when it comes to, like I said, the immigration thing, even in business, the corporate America is set up where if you come from another country, you get certain benefits. That's why people say people come to this country and they start a business. Well, yeah, they have benefit. You have more benefits coming to this country as an adult than you do growing up in this country and becoming an adult. So that seems a little bit odd to me, but I'm not surprised. You get what I'm saying? I'm really not surprised. Now, the other thing, boy, oh boy. We got generational issues. Let's just say we got 5 generations maybe of people, possibly of people that can vote. let's just say that 4, maybe 5, right? And each generation has a different outlook on what should be done, because basically, let's see, because it may still be people from the greatest generation alive. That's what I'm trying to remember. Because so if you was in a silent generation, you could be born in the 40s. So you would be 80 next year. So yeah, so that's 1. Yep. Then boomers, then us and Gen X, then millennials, and then Gen Z. Yeah, 99. Absolutely. You have 4 generations. No, millennials. I forgot millennials, but yes, you got 5 generations that can vote, who have 5 probably different opinions. The baby boomers are the most predominant in politics, and it's been their agendas going on for at least, I want to say, 3 decades. Maybe 4, depending on the politicians we're talking about. But Gen Z's agenda is different from millennials, which is different from Gen X, which is different from boomers, which is different from the silent generation. So it's like you got people who look at politics through ideals, and you have people who look at politics in reality, and you have people who have who want it to be something that it's not right now. It's a difficult process. So what you have is like, in essence, 5 generations canceling each other out for one of them to benefit. And I'm not trying to be mean or whatever, but normally it's boomers, because they were the biggest generation until maybe the millennials or Gen Z, but they're definitely the most. They have the most political power. Definitely, it ain't even a question. So, and a lot of their agendas are just kind of like kicking the can down the road, stalling. So it's like, whatever. So now we're at that point in society where, we're not going to go in a forward direction. We're basically going to go in a direction of who's benefiting the most from politics at this particular time. So whichever groups benefits the most, that's the way the country's going to go, at the detriment of all the other groups. That's how it's been. That's how it's going to be. That's probably how it's going to be in the future. Because whether you like it or not, the pendulum is going to swing in extreme ways. So the other thing about like the generation is, with different generations of politically, these tropes work with people and they don't. If the Republicans get in office, we going back into slavery. Oh, we're gonna lose all our rights. Oh, if the liberals get back in office, you're gonna have a bunch of cross dressers in the bathroom, trying to holler at your children. It's like, yeah. How about whoever gets in office is not gonna fix any of the economic problems? Let's just have that conversation. And on top of that, whoever gets in office, if they wanted to fix the economic situation, the other political group is going to fight it and make the financial situation worse. So now we got another issue. And it's got to be talked about in the Black community. We got a gender issue. You know, politically, I can easily say that politically Black women have benefited from the political aspect of whatever policies were quote unquote doled out to the quote unquote Black community, which we didn't get any. But they made all of these tropes about our women, but made all these policies for them. You was the welfare queen, but we got WIC. You know, we got Section 8. You know what I'm saying? When Bill Clinton killed welfare, he wanted to get you working, but the welfare was normally for women anyways. You know, so that's how you got the push to get young ladies in college and jobs in the workforce and all that other stuff. Not saying that wasn't, you know, it wasn't necessary, but it's basically Reaganomics, which is trickle down economics. Like if we put the women in a good position, you know, that helps the Black community. Well, you know, obviously it didn't. Obviously, you know, using those narratives plus the deadbeat dad narrative with Black men, having all these guys a generation or two generations removed from the trope of the deadbeat dad. You have them in family court, basically paying for the sins of their forefathers who, you know, as DNA would tell you, might not have been no sin at all. You get what I'm saying? So what you see is, you know, our women being helped in a multitude of different ways, and it not helping the Black community. But even now, our women say when you help Black women, you're helping the Black community, which is not true. And I would say Black men is like, there is no policy. There's really no policies that help Black men. And even, you know, even back when Barack Obama wanted to start a policy to help Black boys, the government didn't, you know, they didn't fund it, if I'm not mistaken. And Black women shut it down or shot it down. It's, oh, you can't help them. You got to help the girls. And it's like, the girls already have, you know, what, maybe hundreds of programs. And the guys don't have really much, if they have any, you know. So this idea of trickle down economics didn't work with our community. So guys are like, why am I gonna keep voting for these type of policies? Because it doesn't make sense. You help the women if they're succeeding. You help the women if they're failing. You help the women if they're in school, you know, and they're overqualified. You help the women if they're underqualified or not qualified at all. Okay. And on top of that, if it doesn't work out with the men have to subsidize it and stuff. No. So now we're at this weird little crossroads where Black men are like, I'm not helping nobody else. I'm not being a sacrificial lamb for nobody else. I'm not gonna wait until everybody else get on that they're rising, you know, what is it? A rising tide lifts all boats is BS. Cause I don't have a boat. I might have a raft like Tom Hanks in that movie when he got what is that? he was on that island. Was it Lost? You know, sisters got a boat. Immigrants got a boat. White America got a yacht, and rich folks got a whole Carnival cruise line. Survivor. Thank you. They got a whole cruise line. So it's like, what does a rising tide help? Nothing. Nah, the truth is, nobody really wants, not even a level playing field. Nobody wants Black men to have an opportunity as a group to get ahead, to just get on our feet as a collective. And I'm not saying, in spite of all the things that this country has done, we're still doing pretty doggone good. Which spills into the whole immigration thing. Because, you could talk about the civil rights movement and everything that happened during and after. It was predominantly Black men losing their lives before, during, and after the civil rights movement. So, and what I mean is, Black men died for affirmative action, for all these minorities to benefit from, right? Black men died for immigration, for people to come to this country and get citizenship. That's basically, for everybody else. But do people help the Black community? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And do people help Black men in particular? Absolutely not. Because and the sad part is, and I've always found it insulting, and you have Black people, Black Americans that do this, you have black immigrants that do this, and you definitely have non-Black people that do this. If a criminal that's Black gets helped, that's what's the most important in the Black community. It's like, no, our criminal population is maybe less than maybe 2 to 5% of our population. So what you're focused on is criminals voting and criminals being able to get a job. But regular everyday people who are not criminals, just we don't have a policy for you. We don't know how to go to Congress and say anything on your behalf. We don't know how to put something in place for you to get on your feet in America. No, you got to be a drug addict. You got to just get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to probably help you in those situations, ironically, because it's set up to not help you if you're a criminal. But on top of that, we're going to skip over all the college graduates, all the people who went to college, all the people who were in the military, all the people who were just regular, everyday, normal, working class citizens, all the people who are working poor, all the people who are middle class, all the people who are upper class. We're just going to skip all of them Black people over. And worry about people who you swear to God can't vote because they ain't got no ID, or they can't get out the house because they 89 years old and they still catching the bus. It's ridiculous. So we have this whole little thing going on. So this is why, we just stop. We're not going to help other people. That's enough. It's enough. And one of the other reasons behind this that I got to bring this up is because, what I've noticed, whether it's the reparations conversation, or people who are with the situation with Sister Massey, they got killed by the cop. I see this all the time, and it especially pops up with politics. You get people who go, a black person was gunned down and killed by the police on some just murderous stuff, and it spills into politics. It spills into the black community needs to do this better, and the black community needs to do that better, and it was justified. And if you wasn't breathing at the time that you got shot, you wouldn't have got shot. You deserved it. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then you get people, once again selling out the community for attention. As Tariq Nasheed would say, like butter biscuits, right? So you're gonna coon a little bit because it's gonna bring you some attention. Hopefully, you're gonna get a nice group of white people to support you and go, yeah. In all of this extreme nonsense. And at the end of the day, like I said before, they want Black America to be the sacrificial lamb for the world. We got to be everybody's moral compass. Moral compass. So it's like, and like he said, like giving Kamala millions without asking for anything in return. That was predominantly Black women. And that becomes an issue because you see, Black women backed her and gave her millions of dollars. They ain't got nothing to do with Black men. But it's a Black community thing when we don't want to just put the blame on the ladies. And then on top of that, the ladies gonna say, it was us supporting, not these men. So it's like, it's BS. And even on a Black male's part, that's why you're seeing this quote unquote push. The brothers like, I'm not helping these sisters politically anymore. Why? And it goes back to other things like Black men have gotten women jobs. And Black women have gotten men fired. You know what I'm saying? Black men have helped put women in great positions, and Black men have and Black women have stabbed brothers in the back. Like, and the sad part about it is, I did not want to go down this path. But it's necessary. Nobody has probably taken into consideration. Why do you think they have the city girl mayor out right now, or the one in Illinois, the lady in Atlanta, the prosecutor in Atlanta? There's a judge, a Black woman that got in trouble in Atlanta too. The mayor in New Orleans. Why do you think they keep throwing out sisters, how bad they're performing, quote unquote, or how egregious they are in politics? It's perfect timing. It is perfect timing. And then Kamala's gonna run for president with her track record in San Francisco. Oh man, it's perfect timing to say, yo, you gonna screw the Black community. Yeah. Like, you gonna screw them. It really doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, she gonna catch an L just from that alone, because look at all of your sisters. And then she might just hop out and say, well, really, I'm Asian, so it ain't really, I'm not like them. And then the sisters will feel some type of way. But by then it'll be too late. So the other thing, we're gonna have to, a lot of times we're not being honest. And when I say we're not being honest, it's wow, that's interesting, ain't it? We're not being honest as far as, let me go back a little bit when I was talking about, us helping people and all these agendas going on right now. What winds up happening is black men in particular are the political scapegoat if anything doesn't go people's way. I remember, and you can even say the black community. I remember there was what is it, a LGBT agenda in California that didn't get passed, and guess who got blamed? We got blamed. The whole Palestine Israel thing. People, where are you standing on that? It's like, wait, time out. This no. Y'all not gonna drag us into every conflict you got on the world, because once again, you want us to be everybody's moral compass, but really we're just everybody in the world can be scumbags, but we have to be saviors. And it's like, oh, okay, no, we're not playing this game no more. Because a lot of times what you're seeing it spills into the political spectrum, because that's where you get the they don't have a good family structure, and people don't have good morals, and we really can't do anything for the black community because they don't have intact homes. And guess what? Most of America don't have intact homes, and y'all doing this stuff. People are coming here as illegal immigrants and not having intact homes, and y'all doing stuff for them. The Asian community got one of the highest interracial, dating outside of their race demographic of all races, but you can do stuff for them. That means they don't keep intact homes. I know people like to play this game that everybody is doing this intact home stuff, but they're not. All of this criminality of all these other groups who supposedly come from all these intact homes, but somehow the government finds ways to subsidize these groups of people. Somehow, some way. So it's not really questioned enough. Like, why are we helping all these people? No, we don't need to help these people. They can help themselves. Let everybody help themselves. No, there will be no black conservative patriarch getting the mic. No. But that's a good thing at this particular point, in my opinion, because the men just got to stop. Like, hey man, don't even worry about it. The men got to stop talking about it. Don't even worry about it. I ain't doing none of this stuff. Because what's going to wind up happening is, think about it. The Congressional Black Caucus don't even have a plan for black men. Think about it. They got a plan for immigrants. They got a plan for black women, but they ain't got a plan for black men. So even your black, congressmen who are aligned together don't know what we're gonna do for black men. I don't know. They just got to keep showing up. We're gonna tell the women to tell the men to show up, and that's how it's gonna be. No, it's not how it's gonna be. No. So now we're gonna be at a standstill, because those people are older. They're older. So how can I put it when I say this? How can I put it when I say this? a lot of those people gonna have to, they're gonna have to pass away before even black men come to the table. Like, nah, because I gotta right now I had to pause for a second, and I wanted to look at the Congressional Black Caucus's like agenda. You know what I'm saying? And oh shoot, I skipped it. I'm about to read it to you in a second. About CBC agenda. Democracy and civic participation, education, which, environmental justice. Environmental justice. What the is wrong with y'all? So Flint's water crisis, future of work, which is basically what do you call that? Minimum wage jobs, healthcare, housing, public safety. Yeah, which is, part of the war on drugs, right? These are just BS agendas. First and foremost, when they have a housing agenda, that's for everybody. Healthcare is for everybody, right? It's just ridiculous, man. Environmental issues are going to affect everybody. Future of work is going to affect everybody. Like, education is used by everybody. Democracy and civic participation is part of everybody. It's like, bro, y'all dumb. But this is what people got to fight against. Because you know what? What is the one with the what is the let me what is the Jewish one? Is it APAC? I think it's APAC. Or is it AI? Is it AI pack? Yes. So I'm gonna look up APAC real quick. Hey, I could be wrong. About, let's see, proud pro-Israel Americans. Let me see. They got you gotta dog it. I don't want to join APAC. I'm trying to read what's going on here, Playboy. I hate when they do this. They really ruined it for me just now. One of them big old ads. Policies we support. Let's see. Key issues. Strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship. Supporting security assistance to Israel. Countering Iran's aggression and nuclear war quest. Opposing anti-Israel discrimination. Combating terrorism. Promoting peace. So, boy, I swear. I gotta look it up. Yeah, they're very specific. I'm gonna look up Hispanic American. I forgot they caucus. I forgot what that was called. I know they have like a caucus too. Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Okay. So we're gonna see what they members about. Let's see. I know they got an agenda. I gotta find it now. They got leaders, blah 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 blah. Jeez. Well, that's doing too much with it. They got a lot of leaders. We're gonna find out. They ain't got much on here. I must admit, they ain't got much on their site. You know, they ain't. It's just saying presidents. So they don't have an agenda on here. But so I ain't even gonna go with that. So I'm gonna leave it alone on that. I'm pretty sure they got an agenda because immigration is part of that protocol. But whatever. Anyway, it becomes an issue. You know, it's becoming a huge issue in our community because at the end of the day, it's really not going to be a fight. My prediction is you're going to get a bunch of the way they call black men deadbeat fathers. You're going to get a bunch of deadbeat voters. Like, hey man, I ain't showing up until I ain't showing up. What are you gonna vote for? None. You're gonna get a real apathetic voting block. And when people would come around like, hey man, why don't you come vote, man? We need your vote, man. Shut up. No, you don't. You ain't been worried about us all. Cause once black men walk away from politics, I guarantee you America's gonna really start going, hey man, we got a problem. We got it. Cause in all honesty, that working the system and working within the system, it doesn't work for us. Cause the system doesn't work for us or with us. So my opinion is like, hey man, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Like, hey, they do what's in their best interest, and that's something that's in our detriment all the time. All the time. So it's like, all right, well, let's see how everybody else benefits. Because ironically, think about it. And using the Asian folk, Asians aren't historically looked at as people who are highly into politics in the political realm and spectrum. But man, they passed the bill for them quite fast. And people don't realize why the Asian hate bill passed. It passed so fast because they blamed us for beating Asians during COVID. And ironically, if that was going on, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is for a deeper point. COVID happened. White people, Trump first blamed Asians. White people started going in on Asians. Then they said black people was attacking Asians, and then they passed the hate crime bill. But ironically, ever since they passed that bill, man, when the last time you heard of a black person, quote unquote, attacking an Asian? In the last, 2-3 years? Is it because, brothers are scared of the hate crime bill? No. It's because we don't be around them like that. We don't get into it with Asian folks like that. We'll frequent an Asian restaurant to get some food and bounce. We're not in the Asian community like talk about. CAC. Uh-oh. That about Maxi? Nah. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. But so now we have that whole aspect of it where, we're not part of that conversation. Because truth be told, what else did we get blamed for in the last 5 to 10 years that I can think about? Because it was the Asian thing, it was something else. Well, we was blamed for not being patriotic. with the Kaepernick situation, we're going to be super American. And it's like, man, F all y'all. But I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something because we were getting blamed. We weren't getting blamed for Israel, but we was getting blamed for something. And it's, I want to say it's crime related, but it's not. But there's another community behind it. It was another community behind something. Because right now, even in the Bay Area, they talk about people breaking in cars and stealing stuff. And truth be told, that's really Asians doing that. And that's the same thing in New Orleans too, though. People don't want to hear that, but a lot of time, like I've known for years, that Asians steal a lot of cars. When I was a kid, my grandmother lived in the Vietnamese part of New Orleans on the east. They break in and steal a lot of stuff, man. That's their thing, But we get blamed for it. Reefer madness. Yeah, that's one of them. Speaking of reefer madness, that's what it was. So people started making these people started doing these dispensaries, right? And in the dispensaries, Black people can't really afford to get into the dispensaries. So what was going on was you had a bunch of people. No, it wasn't rap music. You had a bunch of people who was using Black people as minority, quote unquote, investors. Well, let's just say a group of white people would get together, and they wasn't gonna allow all these white people to get dispensaries. So what they would do is they would get a Black person, quote unquote, or a person of color or whatever, a minority or whatever. But it wound up being a lot of Black people, and they would front them the money, like, look, we're doing this, but we need you as a minority investor so we can get this together. And basically, they'll screw them over in the money and buy them out for basically little to nothing. And in a year or 2 years, they're out of the business. But the dispensary is making money hand over fist, and that Black person get pushed out because they can't afford all of the stuff because they did them like a record contract. So even in that line of quote unquote work, we were getting used. When white people wanted to legally sell drugs now, even though there was the plug and still a plug to this day, but we get blamed for the whole, drug thing. And or you could say it, you're like, yeah, I get it. What you say, rap music, is the culprit. Who's it? He said, well, you out here in me shoot. Who is in me shoot? So that's a whole nother thing. And part of the dispensaries, whether people knew it about it or not, part of the dispensaries became your predecessor to gentrification. So when it used to be people, you have like hippie white people, and then it became gay white people, and now it's just quote unquote liberal white people. And the dispensaries is a part of that. So the dispensaries make money. It drives up the taxes, and then people start buying a property and moving people out. So ironically, for all the people who have a smoking habit, you about to smoke yourself out of your own neighborhood and you don't even know it. But that's another aspect of it. In essence, that's partially political. But hey, because I remember doing a video on that a while back. Oh man, if it, and that's the armed forces got a problem right now. They can't quote unquote recruit because like you said, white guys don't want to be a part of patriotism. So which is, and I talked about it, I think in the last video or another video where, I heard SWP talk about that, where all these people who were talking all that crap about Colin Kaepernick and you need to kneel for you don't be kneeling for the flag and respect the country. All these people, when they gotta, if they gotta go to war, their kids gotta go to war, they're gonna turn into Ted Nugent. Them and their kids gonna turn into Ted Nugent. They're gonna bail on fighting for the country. So part of this fake patriotism. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. That was the other thing. I don't care if Cap was fake. That's the thing. I don't care if he was fake. True be told, Kaepernick wasn't. Ironically, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Kamala Harris, the district attorney, when Kaepernick took a knee of San Francisco? I believe so. So ironically, if people have an issue with Kamala on the back end, Cap, because I remember Kamala was putting people in jail for trying to get their kids in a better school district and stuff like that. So, but I believe she was the district attorney, something like that, at the time. So, Cap just was a black dude who was a mixed guy, whatever you want to call it, who white mother gave him up. He was raised by a white family, and he got quote unquote woke in his mid to late 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's normal. Like you see that, anytime you see black people who've been around a lot of white people for a long period of time and not around a lot of black people, when they get away from the white people and they get around a lot of black people, then they start seeing, oh wow, then they get ultra pro black. That's what they do. But that's a whole nother thing. Now, as far as and there's no nice way to say this. It's no nice way to say what I'm about to say. It really isn't. The other, I say it this way. I know black men are insulted politically because, all this showing up, dancing, eating soul food, bringing hot sauce, going to the church, hooping and hollering with a choir behind you. We ain't feeling that. We ain't been feeling that for years. And that's what I forgot. See, you remember a while back when Barack Obama was the president and he got around black guys and he started talking crazy to black men, and he didn't get a standing ovation. The whole mood of the whole room changed and they was looking at him sideways. That's how black men are when it comes to politics. The everyday normal black man is like that. Like, hey, bro, don't come here with that bull. Don't come here with your stereotypes and tropes, because part of the issue is in this particular era is you're not going to disrespect men to vote. Oh, you men are deadbeats, so you should vote. Oh, you men, you ain't won a race war, so you should vote the way that we say. Oh, we're going to tell the women to tell you what to do, and you're going to vote what they say because that's what we told them to do because we told them something. Nah. Like the young man back a few years back when Trump was running for president and won. Or was it when Biden won? I forget. When they had the clip of the mother, you that's one Trump for vote, because one vote for Trump. And it's like, bro, and the kid like, look, I ain't never voting again. That was his first time voting. He's like, look, man, I ain't finna be brainwashed by all these shenanigans. And he was right. He was right. All of this stuff that goes on has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us. So until you have something to do with us, it ain't nothing. I'm tripping. Let me go back. Because you can't talk to a normal average black man about prison. Like think about all these people, even on YouTube, online. You're not going to have a conversation with most of these black men, whether they be liberal, conservative, super liberal, or coon, right? It really don't matter. Well, I take that back. When people liberal black people will play that incarceration game too much. But and I say that, conservative, coon conservatives do the incarceration thing. It's like a less focus on jail. But let's just say middle of the road regular black folks are not trying to hear politics in the frame of felony. Like you don't talk like they don't talk to any other group. They don't talk to white folks about felonies. They don't talk to Asians about felonies. They don't talk to Hispanics about felonies. They got Hispanics and Asians and even some black folks and Europeans coming to this country illegal and trying to get them to vote. They ain't talking to them about they come in here illegally and they trying to figure out how they can vote, but they want to talk to us about felonies. Yeah, you crazy than a mother. It don't even make sense. Let's let people get a better education. What is an education? Everybody in America is getting an education. Everybody. Education is something you got to choose to not get. You got to drop out you got to go and drop out. So now it's like, listen, the political landscape is basically, if you're not talking about resources, then we ain't talking. Period. And you're even seeing it with, even what is that? Even the hip hop, Breakfast Club type of stuff, they have to start asking those questions like, hey man, what are you really doing for black people? And it's like, oh wow, nothing. Oh, okay. We can't do anything for black people. And it's like, we're watching you say what you can actively do for everybody else. And that's why I say, even in our community, the man versus woman thing with the gender thing is an issue because we're watching you have policies for black women. We're watching you actively not have policies for black men. We're watching you have policies. You can't tell me if this country gonna bail out the banks and bail out the auto industry, bail out what is it? What else did they do? Bail out the insurance industry. Then you trying to tell me, and now they need to bail out again because the auto industry is falling again. Banks are falling again, and insurance is just a matter of time. So it's like, hey man, you bailed all these huge mega conglomerates and corporations out, and they blew it again. What does that tell you? Thank you. Bailed out the housing industry, and now people can't afford rent, and people don't have a down payment for a mortgage, and it's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. It's not making sense. So since you bailing out everybody, that means you're giving free money away to people who are screw-ups, active screw-ups. So now, really, the reason why our brothers are having this political conversation now is because we just want to see your answer now. That's it. Like, we know your answer is no. We know your answer is we don't want to do nothing for you black folks. We know that. But no. But we gonna get you gonna have to say it on the record. You gonna have to say it, like, you gonna have to say, I can't do nothing for you. We can't do, and we're gonna watch you do something for everybody else while you say you can't do nothing for us. And on top of that, the other thing about that is we're gonna watch all these people you help fail and ask for help again. Because y'all give money to Israel every year. Y'all giving money to basically the immigrants every year, every year. Whether they be Asian, whether they be legal, whether they be illegal, whether they be Hispanic, y'all give them stuff every year. What was that? What was that? Shoot. I could say since wet foot, dry foot. If you Cuban and you come, you can stay. If you Haitian and you come, you got to go. Different strokes for different folks. And if you white Cuban, you can stay. If you black Cuban, you might have to get up out of here. So it's like, okay, fine. That was the thing. What Kamala said, hey, she can't do nothing for black folks. Cool. You can't do nothing for black folks. No problem. But she might say she could do something for black women. That's interesting. That might change, because the AKA, she's a sorority sister, The Divine Nine, they gonna get played on this one. They already got played, but they gonna get played again on this one. And then, take it a step forward, a step further. And I should have said this earlier. When I was talking about having black folks be everybody's sacrificial lamb, what you constantly hear from white people, blacks who got that sellout mentality, non-blacks and immigrants, is us as black Americans need to let white people off scot-free. That's what you constantly hear. It's clear across the board. That was a long time ago. Yes, everybody else got something, but you shouldn't get anything. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Why are you asking questions? Why are you trying to rock the boat? Why do you want something? I came to this country with $2 in my pocket and I made a way. But you don't say that you didn't pay taxes for the first 5-6 years. You don't say that the government was subsidizing you. You don't say that you got your your cousin and your uncle and all them to come, and they had the same little benefit as you. So your whole family was getting benefits for damn near 2 decades because you kept bringing them here. No, I didn't see Ply's video. I'm not look no. Plies makes me laugh. He's hilarious, but I'm not finna listen to. You know what? AMSM. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for writing that. I appreciate that because that's what I forgot earlier. That's also insulting to us as black men. You know, all of these all of this stuff with entertainers. Entertainer. Have you got Plies and the president? You got Jay-Z and Beyonce with a presidential election. You got, Ludacris. You got, Chris Rock. You got, Bernie Mac. It's like, well, Bernie Mac, rest in peace and all that. You know what I'm saying? But you got all these celebrities that don't help us. They like, even when Barack Obama was the president and all those celebrities went by, all of them, right? All of them. They didn't ask for anything for Black America. They just wanted to go and party in the White House. Yeah, I know. But he's no different than the rest of them. He's not going to, even if he came for Kamala, he's not going to ask, he's not going to say she needs to do something. This is what you should do. Hey, you should help these people out. These people, you should do this. You should do that. We got to stop this game where, because people don't want to hear it, but stop taking advice from people who are getting paid to help a campaign. They paid Diddy for Vote or Die. They paid all them people. They paid 50 Cent back in the day. Dr. Dre, I think he was on that. Ludacris. Every time you see a celebrity, campaigning for somebody, they got paid. That's what they did. They got paid. So they got a paycheck for that. What does that help? What does that help with the black community? Nothing. They'll say anything. You remember Jennifer Hudson? She was singing on when Trump got inaugurated, if I'm not mistaken, and people got mad at her. She got paid for that. She ain't doing that for free. I think it was Jennifer Hudson. No, I forgot the lady's name. No. It wasn't Jennifer Hudson. I forgot the singer's name. But she did that whole little thing. It's like, listen, man. At the end of the day, thank you, Chrisette Michelle. All these people don't really have a policy. Like Ice Cube actually put something together. And you notice people don't want to use it. So, and even the Congressional Black Caucus didn't want to use it. Which should tell you something. And the sad part about it is those gender entitlements are about to get crushed. They're about to get crushed because this country's too broke to keep having gender entitlements. And to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna have to say this. Even with all of the gender entitlements, you would think that women should have been homeowners, financially on equal footing with men, whether it be the gender entitlements, divorce settlements, child support, all the perks of just being a woman in society, and men gifting women things and giving women money and this, that, and the third. You would think that they should be in a better financial position, but they're not. So all of the helping, putting the women ahead didn't even work. Most of that money goes to, I'm being stereotypical, but shopping, vanity, vacations, that's in eating. That's where most of that went. So it wasn't really worth it. But you know what? Let me start getting my butt up out of here, man. I've been doing too much. It's been a long day. Yeah, I just put my 2 cents in. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Quick before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand farewell to friends and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay.